Hi there everybody, how are you? Thanks for joining me. I'd like to make a little video now regarding what do I think about when it's easy for us to remain calm and in peace when we're on our own or when things are quiet, but when we're with people, then we may find ourselves getting into arguments or getting emotionally upset and flustered. So we might say it's easy for us to be still and calm and present and at peace in quiet times, but when it comes to when someone is unconscious and challenging, when someone's able to ruffle our feathers and trigger us, like a family member for example, or someone who we have a lot of past history with, how do we remain at peace then during those challenging times? So it boils down to us taking care of our level of consciousness and our level of awareness, rather than getting caught up in unconscious reactivity and unconscious blaming, defending and attacking, and the drama and the arguments that causes. Unconscious identification with your viewpoint, with your opinion, with your thoughts, attachment to your opinions, unconscious resistance and the internal reactive no, the tight tension of saying no, this shouldn't be happening, or they shouldn't be saying that, and then the judgments of wrong, bad, that come along with this also. So first of all, I'd like to say the easiest thing that we can do is to practice holding the inner silence, the alert awareness, the attentiveness. Hold this awareness in the easy, quiet times in our life. So we're already good at this, okay? So now hold this when things get just a little bit harder, with minorly challenging people, let's say strangers who we don't have the big long history with, so they are unable to trigger us as easily as, let's say, our partner or our parents or someone who we know for a long time. So you hold that spacious awareness of knowing how you're feeling emotionally, knowing maybe if your thoughts start to pull you a certain direction, you realize, my thoughts are starting to pull me this direction of negativity, judging and blaming, etc. You can come on and let's make a video. So it's about waking up to the realization that we're lost in our emotions and our thoughts quicker rather than later, sooner rather than later. So for example, in someone who's typically possibly very unconscious, a whole argument may happen, and it's only, let's say, after the big argument that they go away into the quiet room or into the park and they realize, I was completely taken over by my emotions and my negatively skewed interpretations and assumptions and conclusions of somebody. My most negative judgments of the person and the situation. But as we practice, so to speak, becoming aware of stuff in general, like either our inner reality, let's say our thoughts and images about the past and the future that may be causing us like guilt, resentment, regret from the past, or if we're thinking and imagining about the future going wrong, we may realize, we become aware of we're emotionally feeling anxious, fearful, tense and uneasiness in the body. So we become aware of also our body, how these emotions feel in our body. And we may become aware of how we're thinking in regarding all of this, like the thoughts that are happening to us regarding this whole like cyclical reaction. Thoughts generate emotions, and emotions encourage more darker thoughts. These anxious thoughts encourage emotions and feeling in our body. And you know, it can be a pattern, a cycle, like a wheel, and it actually just keeps going on and on until you become aware of, like, realizing, I know this is happening inside of me now. So getting back to the point, the more aware we are, the quicker we realize that we may be lost in our thoughts and lost in our emotions. So instead of being at the very, very end of an argument, or like a day after, or it could be, let's say after a minute or two or three, when we realize, oh my god, I've just been saying like a whole lot of stuff, defending myself, attacking the person. I've just been feeling really like upset and I didn't even realize it. Or to keep practicing, maybe it's like after 5 seconds you realize that your words were being controlled by your unconscious, unaware emotions and thoughts. So as you become more and more aware, so too does, the minute you become aware, then you're no longer lost. So the minute you become aware, the second you become aware, you're no longer lost, and that's when you have free will again, and that's when you have choice. So that's when free will exists, when you're aware in any moment. So that could be another video, do we have free will? And the answer is when we're aware in any instant. Otherwise, we're just like a reaction. So when you have free will, you can say, I choose to say this. I choose to say this, and I choose to do this. I have an intention, a pre-knowledge that I'm going to say something, or pre-knowledge and an intention and a plan that I'm going to do or say something. Otherwise, like a daydreamy sort of blind, sort of daydreamy behavior without awareness and without planning and intention. It's automatically happening to you. You don't have free will in the matter. So the moment you step back into awareness and aware of the moment as well, of course, visually, sensually, audially, you become aware of everything, like anything in particular. Internal environment, thoughts, emotions and images in the head, and then external environment, people, how they're feeling, you see how you read their body language, you get to realize like, these people, this is upset, they're agitated or flustered, whatever, hurting, angry, it could be any emotion. And now you're more clued into them emotionally, you're more emotionally aware yourself when you get to see another person and become aware of another person, instead of just being a complete like big ball of emotions and reactivity. So that's what free will and awareness is. Here are some little like self-investigations you can ask yourself to help yourself grow in awareness. Just ask yourself at any moment, a few of them, for space awareness and for awareness of the body and awareness of sight and vision, you could ask yourself, where am I? Where am I? And then awareness arises and you say, here I am. And you become awake now to the present moment, exactly, and say, here I am, like here. You get to look around the place, see, you get to listen to things you may not have been hearing before. For example, you may hear the birds in the trees or in the sky. You actually may see the birds in the sky. Little things that you weren't noticing before because you were too busy lost in your thoughts and rushing to the next moment or remembering the past moment. You can ask yourself, do I know what's happening now? So anytime you can say, I know, that's saying, yeah, I'm aware right now, I know. So do I know now that I'm listening to a YouTube video? Be the knower, the silent knower behind the experience that you're witnessing. Know what you're witnessing. Know what you're experiencing. You're the silent experiencer. And similarly, inwardly, do I know how I'm feeling right now? Feel your body. How does my body feel? So feel any discomfort, any tension, and let go of the tension and relax. Do I know that I'm breathing? Do I know what thoughts are going through my head at the moment? Now, the next time, let's say, you can do this on your own and it's pretty easy in a quiet time in your life, walking down the street or in your house. Do I know I'm going to go to the kitchen or to the bathroom, and I'm going to walk there in awareness? Do I know? And I have the intention to get a glass of water. And do I know that as I'm reaching for the cup, do I know that I'm reaching for the cup and moving it back again? And do I know? And you don't have to keep asking yourself, but just be the silent knower, awareness that's witnessing your hand moving, etc., your arms moving, your body moving, myself talking, you listening. So there's listening and there's knowing you're listening. There's silent knowing, and there is the act of listening. So now you can do this the next time, step it up a level. Well, let's say you're with somebody. Do I know that I'm listening to this person now? So you can be there as a knower behind the fact that you're participating in a listening or in a conversation. So just be the silent knower there for a second or two. And then you can even go to speak and choose your words with intent. Know that you are speaking and know that you're going to start a sentence with even the first word. It's like rewiring your brain from subconscious automatic behavior, like a daydreamy automatic, to a much more conscious brain. Aware behavior. Conscious, fresh, new, chosen, willfully chosen, knowingly participating in your behavior. So unconscious behavior, you kind of like look back on it when it's finished and it's like a bit of a daydream. It's like blurry, it's not very clear, and that's because you weren't really fully there experiencing it. You're sort of like subconsciously behaving. But when you're really crisp and alert and aware, it's like a lucid dream, I suppose you could say. It's like you can look back and you remember everything because you're really, really there in awareness. You were really alert and awake. But when you're like half waking up, typically in the morning, you're half awake, half asleep, or you're more than half asleep. If you try and remember this, you don't really remember. That's like what ordinary people are living. In a state of like haziness and unawareness. So keep practicing different levels of difficulty, so to speak. Just keep doing this, what I was saying, and then you can remain as the knower, the witness, the alertness, even when somebody is challenging, like your father or your mother or your brother or sister. Or your partner. And just to know if you feel an emotion arising within you that's going to take over your thoughts, get you into a state of, like I was saying, as if like you're 3/4 asleep, but it's angry unconsciousness, upset unconsciousness, emotionally uncomfortable of some kind unconsciousness. Then an argument happens, and drama and argument, defending and attacking, accusing and blaming, all this stuff happens. But anyway, not to worry, like forgive them for they not know what to do. I love this quotation from Jesus, or lots of other people too, not just Jesus. Forgive them for it because they don't know what to do. Like you don't know what to do when you're unconscious. You're not in control anymore, you're just asleep. So that's not, you can't take somebody personally because they aren't even there. They're unconscious, they're not there, so there's nobody to be angry at, for example, or to be upset or to blame or to hold a grudge or resentment against. when people in the past unconsciously hurt me, that's okay now because I know it wasn't even them. And beneath it all, like when they're normal again, so to speak, they can be lovely people, beautiful people. So just don't mistake unconscious behaviour for who somebody is. And that goes for yourself too. Forgive yourself easily, like let go, just realise it's unconscious behaviour and then just try and become more conscious, or else. Also try and, one other thing with all of this thing, try and speak your truth. Tell people true honesty, like you can say sorry, I got taken over by, like, you can use whatever word you want to use. I got like taken over by my emotions, I got really emotional and upset, so I'm sorry. I may not have meant it exactly the way I said it, but I kind of don't really like the way you do this. I love the way you do this. You can still communicate, but much more in a more aware and conscious fashion. So you do get to communicate true, open, naked honesty without accusation and without blame. So it's always really good to communicate fully, express yourself truthfully, and this feels really good to fully express instead of holding back. When we hold back and suppress, it can hurt us and we feel bad about ourselves. So it's good just to let it all out. And then if we are, let's say, like my beautiful friend Harry said, I'd rather people deny me for who I am rather than accept me for a false persona of who I am not. That's not the exact words he said, but that's the meaning. So yeah, I think we've covered a good part of the video now, so I think I might leave it at that. There's lots of other videos on people and relationships in my people and communication and relationship playlist. So much more to talk about all of this. But just to go easy on ourselves and other people after they're unconscious or during unconsciousness. Just to have compassion and understanding that they've had hurts and they've been triggered. We've had hurts and we've been triggered. And just to forgive and let go easily. And forgiveness doesn't mean we don't look back and remember or learn from the past. It just means we view someone in present moment freshness, as Anthony de Mello says. We're not all emotional about the situation that happened in the past. We can learn and remember, but we're not emotionally tied and controlled by it anymore. We drain it of emotions, Anthony says. So it's okay to speak about the past if we've healed from it. It's just like talking about the weather. It's no big deal, no big attachment, no big heaviness. Easy. So let's love unconditionally in present moment freshness. Okay, so thanks very much for joining me for this, and I hope it helps. Feel free to go back over this if it's a lot of content, and keep the practice up of awareness, and that's how you grow in this thing. Awareness, power, lightness, power, and don't try too hard in anything that causes stress is always another thing I always say is a fundamental of spirituality. And enjoy life too. So do the mixture, learn, practice, enjoy learning and practicing, and enjoy life too. And just enjoy life. Get out and get a bit of fresh air too, and eat some nice healthy food, whatever that is to you. Get a good sleep, plenty of water. Good, inspired, uplifting friends, contact with nature, and some nice happy body movements, which some people call exercise. Alright, well, until next time, thanks a lot for the friendship, and I'll see you all again soon. See ya.